Thank you, Alicia, and thank you to the East Long Meadow Cultural Council. My name is George Baker, and before we actually start our program, I was just informed that there's a very special event happening tomorrow, and that particular person is going to be turning 90 years old. So could we all sing happy birthday to Pat? Where is Pat? Hi, Pat. Here we go, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pat. Happy birthday to you. Stola, yeah, gia, na. Stola, yeah, gia, na. Yeshira, yeah, gia, na. So happy birthday. Enjoy the day. So ladies and gentlemen, we are, as Alicia said, the Windjammer's Circus Band. So we'd like to start the program right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, welcome to the Windjammer Circus Band and our imaginary circus, and we will inform you of the history of the circus and its music. You'll be certain to delight even the most discriminating audiences. That looks like you. Our death-defying trapeze artists will keep you sitting on the edge of your chair, and our lion tamers will simply astound you with their exceptional courage as their very antics, and they risk life and limb in the ring and above the ring. And we'll have the tumblers, the bareback riders, and leave you with breathless anticipation. So, ladies and gentlemen, kindly direct your attention to the center ring as we begin the pageantry and music of the Grand Entry Parade. Let the afternoon under the big top begin. So does that make you feel like you're under the big top yet?
Yeah.
So the tune that you just heard was something entitled "The Entry of the Gladiator" by Julius Fuchik, and it is one of the opening compositions that signals the beginning of the processional, starting with the biggest show on earth. So right now we're going to continue with something called "Memphis the Majestic March" by Russell Alexander, and it is written to accompany the Liberty Horses show. The legendary circus bandmaster Merle Evans thought that Russell Alexander was the greatest writer of circus music. And so Alexander was also dubbed Alexander the Great. So right now, especially for the horses, we'd like to play for you something entitled "Memphis the Majestic March."
Maybe next Friday.
That was Memphis the Majestic March. Coming up right now, we have something entitled "Caesar's Triumphal March." And this represented the great Roman Caesar's grand entry into Rome. It was played for a spectacle of 1,200 performers as they marched into the big top. So not a lot is known about the composer G.F. Mitchell, except that he was a clarinetist in most of the major circus bands of the 1890s. The march was named after Julius Caesar. Some have said that Mitchell was obsessed with the Roman Empire and wrote this title in 1898. And just to let you know, this song reached #1 on the Billboard charts in 1898. So without further ado, Caesar's Triumphal March. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, for those with young children, direct your attention to ring number 2 as our wonderful, delightful, spectacular, and witty clown troupe led by Sammy Smirkalot entertains you to your heart's delight. They're funny, they're full of pranks and mischief, and they will have you laughing in stitches every second as they tumble around the ring in their mad, zany effort to put the fire out in the house. So has anybody ever seen anything like that? There were about 20 years or so ago, I got a chance to go see the circus over at the Big E, and they actually had that same kind of thing happening there. And I think the thing that probably amazed me the most was probably the guys in the motorcycle cage, where there's 2 of them in there, and they're just like going around like, I don't know, 20, 30 miles an hour, something. It's just crazy. So these people are crazy. So with that, we're going to play something entitled Miss Trombone, especially for the pumpkins. And let's not forget Sammy Smirkalot. He's one wild and crazy guy. So here we go. For Dave Sporty on the trombone. Former UMass professor of trombone for many, many years. And actually when I started grad school there, he was actually the first professor that I met on the street before I went in to play a Tuesday morning recital. He probably doesn't remember that, but just I would share that right now. And Dave is obviously a well-known trombonist and actually filled in with the Tonight Show band back in the day. So he was a substitute with them whenever they needed a trombone player. So, yeah. So right now, we're going to continue on with something called the Cantonians March. And this also is by Russell Alexander. And this was written especially to accompany the acrobats. And it was also used to accompany the Liberty Horses Act. So here we go with something entitled the Cantonians March. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. So right now we'd like to play for you something entitled Broadway One Step. This was written by K.L. King and was performed for the Clown Band and for the Trampoline Act. King wrote this tune in 1919 and it was also used for the Clown Walk Around. It was originally intended for the bicycle line and listen for the comic touches with the trio melody beginning unsettled, ungainly, while contrasting to the ragtime style of the rest of the music. The 1950 hit Hoop-de-Doo by Perry Como and the Fontaine Sister is very similar, so listen to that similarity. So right now, without further ado, Broadway One Step by K.L. King. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. So, and now, lock your eyes high above the ring as our lovely world-famous aerialist, Stacy Surehands, performs dazzling feats never before attempted anywhere in the world. Thrilled to the sight of her graceful play as she attempts to execute her triple backward somersault in midair between the two parallel bars high above the ring. No net separates her from the sure death that awaits, should she miss by the slightest fraction. So rivet your attention on the seemingly safe trapeze, swaying gently over the center ring. I think this is a first. I think this is the first time that we've had somebody dance to that. Beautiful. If I had known, I would have repeated and done it again for you. So right now we'd like to play a composition for you entitled Honey Boys on Parade, and this was especially for the Dogs and the Pony Act. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, cast your eyes on the center ring as our splendid horse trainer, Rhonda Quickstep, dazzles you with her elegantly groomed cadre of equestrians. These four-hoofed Arabian beauties do not simply prance around the ring. No, they actually dance in time with the music. So exquisite is their training. Please welcome to the ring, Rhonda Quickstep and the 7 Golden Arabians, featuring the Wonder Horse, Kentucky Sunrise. The Sunrise Never is in fact called Kentucky Sunrise, named for the super horse, Kentucky Sunrise. So, ladies and gentlemen, nowhere does man or woman risk life and limb more fearlessly than in the cage. That is the domain of the king of the jungle. Please welcome our world-renowned lion tamer, Wilfred Headstrong, as he defies all logic and reason by inserting his head into the mouth of the most fearful of beasts, the African saber-toothed tiger. So here we go with something by John Philip Sousa, something called the Thunderer March. All I can say is I'm glad we're inside after that number. You have absolutely no idea how many outdoor concerts I've played where we played that number and all of a sudden, rain just seems to come out of nowhere, even like blue skies. So right now we're going to play a number for you that's specifically written for the Clown Act. And it was composed by Mr. Mayhew Lake, who was actually a violinist with the Boston Symphony Orchestra, starting at age 16, and was also editor-in-chief of Carl Fisher Music from 1913 to 1948. Lake published music under the name of Lester Brockton, I'm sorry, and is known for many compositions of ragtime tunes. So John Philip Sousa called him the most talented arranger in American history. So we're going to be playing for you The Booster, written by Mayhew Lake, and this accompanies the Clown Act. I can't believe I forgot my red nose. Oh my goodness! Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center ring. Now I wonder what his name is, or what is your name? Is your name Bozo, or do you have a different name? Is that Clarabelle I see in the corner over there? I don't know. And what are you going to do with that? Oh, all right. Well, just for you, we're going to play the booster. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And let's have a nice hand for our clown. So right now we'd like to play for you something called the Olympia Hippodrome March, also written by Russell Alexander. It was composed for the Bareback Writing Act, and Alexander wrote this piece when he was on the 5-year European tour with Barnum and Bailey. It was published in 1889 and honors both the London building Olympia, in which there is a type of circus act featuring horse racing around the arena. The name Hippodrome also refers to the chariot competitions as well as the feats of horsemanship. Reminds me of some of the chariot races you used to see in some of the movies from way back when. So here we go, something by Russell Alexander, the Olympia Hippodrome March. you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I love playing things fast and lots of notes. Keeps me awake and energized. If you didn't hear what they said, speak for yourself. That's it. All right, now we're going to play something for you right now. Something entitled The Wedding of the Winds Waltz. Oh, I see our two waltzers just left. I think they had a dance class appointment. Okay, so The Wedding of the Winds. Okay. recognize you two. Wonderful, wonderful dancers. We played at I've seen you at the Chicopee Senior Center last year when I had the Oompa Band performing with them. And I've also seen you dancing for I believe the Heritage Pops Orchestra, doing the big band dance at Ludlow Polish American Club. And I thought that you guys are fantastic dancers. Let's have a nice hand. Beautiful. It reminds me of my days at the Larder Dance School in 10th grade in Chicopee when I used to do the ballroom dancing. In 10th grade, I was a great cha-cha dancer. All right, moving right along here. Sorry about that. Maybe a little bit too much information. So right now we're going to play something for you entitled The Walking Frog. And this is actually a two-step originally written for circus music for the clown walkabouts. Carole King's classic has a real ragtime flavor with infectious rhythms and attractive melodies. It was also used for the Trained Seal Act. It was composed in 1919 and is also known as a cakewalk. There we have something entitled The Walking Frog. Something up is something entitled A Night in June. And this was especially written for the act. It consisted of balance. That's right, Dave. It's A Night in June, although it is still July, I think. Anyway, so this was actually for the balancing act troupe, and they stood atop a tall ladder, and they balanced themselves on wooden blocks. It kind of reminds me as a kid, like watching the Ed Sullivan Show with the people doing the plates in the air and things of that sort. So right now, King's first job, full-time conductor job, was in 1914 to 15 with the Sells Photo Circus and Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show, which combined musicians from both show bands. He became a bandmaster for the Sells Photo Circus in 1915 and was bandmaster of Barnum and Bailey Circus Band from 1917 to 18. King settled in Fort Dodge, Iowa, and directed the local concert band and published more than 300 musical works. So right now, with further ado, A Night in June. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play for you right now something entitled, I think I just put it in the back, Circus Echoes. And this was written by a gentleman by the name of A.W. Hughes, and it was made to accompany the flying act as well as the elephant acts. The song reflects Hughes' own experience as a horn and calliope player for over half a dozen circus bands between 1911 and 1931. So here we go, something called Circus Echoes. Thank you so much. Here, a lot of festivities here today, and we'd like to conclude our show with our final musical salute to all the entertainers that have made the evening under the big top possible. Join me at the finish by showing your appreciation to each and every one of these wonderful performers who have made this spectacular moment at the circus one to be treasured for years to come. And so without further ado, our big finale for this afternoon is called Barnum and Bailey's Favorites. But before we do that, I'd like to introduce the band here today. Across from me, David Sporny on trombone, Chris Mortensen on French horn, Dave Weiner on the tuba. And Dave, is that your new tuba today that weighs 15 pounds? Oh yeah, look at that. How many times have you seen that? I have a baritone saxophone that weighs 35 pounds, so. And keeping us all together on the drums is Chris Pachik. And Chet Pachik. Sorry, Chet. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And to his right, my left, Bob Kuhn on the trumpet, all the way from Belchertown. Bob is a former movie star in the movie He Said, She Said, and is now a principal at the Swift River School and playing trumpet with us here today. Chet is probably one of the best drummers in all of New England. He is fantastic. He's played with everybody you could possibly think of. I can't think of anybody right now, but I know you played with everybody, even me. Also, not Chet, but David Weiner, our tuba player, has also filled in with a couple of groups you might know, the Empire Brass Quintet as well as the Canadian Brass Quintet. And to my left, a lot of times lead trumpet player with many of the big bands and that you've seen in the area, Mr. Dave Bilodeau, and let's have a nice hand for him. And I'm like the worst one in the group. I just like playing clarinet, but ham and egg here, just kind of like playing with mostly everybody and nobody. But anyway, My name is George Baker, so on behalf of the Windjammer Circus Band, thank you so much for letting us perform for you this afternoon. And here we go with Barnum and Bailey's Favorites. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of this day and stay cool. Firstly, I'm going to go jump in the lake right now. Thank you, Alicia.